Although it seems like the Samsung Galaxy S6 flagship only launched yesterday, there are already reports beginning to pop up about its successor, the Samsung Galaxy S7. It'll presumably be called the Galaxy S7, considering Samsung tends to keep its phone naming conventions pretty steady, and we're also pretty sure we know when the Galaxy S7 will be released, again, based on history Samsung's pattern of releasing flagship smartphones. There is of course still plenty we don't know. Like, what will the Galaxy S7 feature? What does it look like? What kind of specs does it have? As we learn more about Samsung's next phone, we will update this piece. This is your go-to place for finding the latest answers to all your Galaxy S7 related questions. The Galaxy S6 launched at MWC 2015, while the Galaxy S5 launched at MWC 2014. We therefore think the Galaxy S7 will release during MWC 2016 in February 2016. If that happens, you can then expect the phone to hit store shelves 5 weeks later, toward late March or early April. A semi-reliable source from Twitter claimed Samsung's plans do coincide with Mobile World Congress 2016, scheduled to run from February 22 to February 25, with the event set for February 21. The source even posted a logo for this upcoming Unpacked event, but as you can see below, the dark black of the 6 in 2016 doesn't match the lighter gray of the other digits. So take the February event news with a pinch of salt. Also, according to South Korean website Newsis, Samsung began working on the Galaxy S7 months ahead of schedule and planned to launch the phone in the second half of 2015, but considering we were almost at the turn of the year now with nary an official sign, that's hugely unlikely. Sam Mobile has agreed the Galaxy S7 will be released earlier than usual, but it's pegging a January announcement and early February release date. The South Korean Electronic Times also states the Samsung Galaxy S7 will appear earlier than expected, in order to get a head start on Apple. This source also believes the S7 will appear in January 2016. With the Galaxy S6 costing £599, we'd be surprised if the Galaxy S7 is priced differently to that. Samsung Galaxy S7, 2 models. Sam Mobile said Samsung will continue to release 2 variants of its flagship smartphone. One has the model number SM, G930 and a flat display, while the other has the model number SM, G935 and a dual-edged curved display. Both variants are code-named Project Lucky and are being internally referred to as the Hero and Hero 2, respectively. They'll eventually launch in Canada, China, Europe, Korea, and the US. One will arrive with an Exynos 8890 processor, while the other will have Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 SoC. They'll also feature UFS 2.0 storage and maybe even micro SD slots. Samsung is also testing a dual camera setup in some prototypes as well as a 20-megapixel ISO sensor. Samsung HD Blog.it backed up Sam Mobile's report in November, claiming the Galaxy S7 will have weighted 2 versions, a phone with a flat 5.2-inch display, and another with an edged 5.7-inch display. The edge version will have a slight curve on the side edges, top, and bottom. There are also reports of an SGS 7 Plus with a 6-inch screen, but more on that below. Samsung Galaxy S7 design. The Galaxy S6 brought an overhaul design to the flagship line, so we're not expecting any radical changes for the next cycle upgrade. There's been one rumor so far that claimed it'll be bigger than the Galaxy S6, with a 5.7-inch screen, and it might be built from a different type of metal. A magnesium-based alloy, to be specific. These claims are supported by leaked cases from its skins that shows the S7 looking similar to the current S6. That would make the phone strong yet still light and ventilated. Either way, we think the Galaxy S7 will debut with some combination of premium metal and glass, as that's what the current flagship features. Renders based on blueprints that were allegedly sent to third-party case manufacturers back up some of the claims and designs we've seen touted, briefly, before. They appear in a video posted online, although it is claimed that the rendered phone in question is a Samsung Galaxy S7 Plus, rather than a standard version, with a 6-inch screen. Another thing spotted in the rendered video is that there is no USB Type-C connection on the device, but remember, these are computer models made from specifications released by trusted sources inside third-party case makers, not Samsung itself. Indeed, a more recent leak, this time of a few images purportedly of an SGS7 chassis, show a slot that looks suspiciously like a USB Type-C connection port. Which to believe? Certainly, the Wall Street Journal claims it is the latter, with the report that sources reveal it'll definitely come with the high-speed charging solution. Samsung Galaxy S7 display. One report from Asia Today claimed the Galaxy S7 will come in two sizes, 5.2 inches and 5.8 inches. A possible N22 benchmark for an unknown Samsung phone, codenamed Lucky, indicates Samsung has made a device with a 5.7-inch 1440 x 2560 pixel screen. While it seems unlikely that the standard SGS7 will jump to 5.7 inches, we've seen a split from naming this year with the birth of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. That will give Samsung scope to launch the SGS7 in one size and then have larger Edge models again, while offering a new Samsung Galaxy Note 6 as well later in the year. We still believe there will be two models of SGS7, the regular and the dual-edged version, and in our opinion, 5.2 inches seems like a good size. The original version might be that referred to in a Korea Times report that states Samsung won't make design changes in order to save money and compete against Chinese competition. Other reports claimed Samsung's next phone will be a foldable phone or might feature a curved screen. A trademark filing further suggested Samsung is developing a strong display technology, called Turtle Glass, to replace Corning's Gorilla Glass 3. But none of that is set in stone as of now. We should also note that the Sony Xperia Z5 Premium has 4K screen technology, meaning Samsung might want to adopt it as well for the Galaxy S7 in order to stay competitive with its rivals, although we're yet to see what sort of impact a 4K display is going to have on the smartphone market. We've also seen talk of a clear force display. This display from Synaptics offers the sort of pressure sensitivity that the iPhone 6s introduced with 3D Touch. Samsung has always been keen to include the latest technologies, and this is an obvious area for Samsung to progress. A report from the Wall Street Journal, based on insider source information, also claims that there will be a pressure-sensitive display. Samsung Galaxy S7, power and hardware. Supposed internal Samsung documents posted to Chinese social networking site Weibo appear to confirm the SGS7, though it has the codename Jungfrau, is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 820 processor. That chip should launch later in 2015 and will likely be in many of next year's flagships. According to Sam Mobile, Samsung will continue to release two variants of its flagship smartphone. One will arrive with an Exynos 8890 processor, while the other will have Qualcomm's Snapdragon 820 SoC. Some benchmarks also posted to Weibo further revealed a comparison between the Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 and a pair of Snapdragon 820 powered Galaxy prototypes. In the graph above, the yellow bar represents the Snapdragon 820A variant, while the represents the 820B, and the green is the Snapdragon 810. A separate benchmark on Geekbench, supposedly for two variants of the Galaxy S7, shows one Galaxy device with 3 GB of RAM and another LTE version with 4 GB of RAM. Both of these devices go by the codename Lucky. Keep in mind Samsung ditched Qualcomm's chips in favor of its own Exynos 7420 in the Galaxy S6, Galaxy S6 Edge, Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, and Galaxy Note 5. Oh, and Samsung just launched a DRAM chip that allows phones to run 6 GB of RAM, and it would make sense for Samsung's flagship line to adopt that. At the moment it's unclear exactly what Samsung might offer. With few complaints about the Exynos chipsets, it might make more financial sense for Samsung to stick with in-house hardware. Audio quality is also expected to be impressive, with a Korean report suggesting Samsung will use the Saber 9018 AQ2M chip for superior sound. This should mean the 32-bit audio deck delivers near-analog quality sound and supports formats like DSD. With rumors suggesting Samsung is looking to buy Jay-Z's Tidal music streaming service, The Galaxy S May 7th come with some serious audio offerings. Samsung HD Blog.it claimed in November that the next Galaxy phones will feature either a Exynos 8890 or Snapdragon 820. The Korean Electronic Times claims Samsung is working on its own Exynos M1 chip, dubbed Project Mongoose, which should mean more battery-efficient, higher-speed processing. That M1 name could be a variant for the Exynos 8890, of course. Samsung Galaxy S7 camera. An Antutu benchmark possibly for the Galaxy S7 shows it having a 16-megapixel rear-facing camera and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, which are the same camera specs found on the Galaxy S6. But another Antutu benchmark revealed a dual camera on the phone, so at this point it is unclear what the phone sports. According to Sam Mobile, Samsung is testing a dual camera setup in some prototypes as well as a 20-megapixel ISO sensor. This could be backed up by Samsung's patent of the term duopixel, which is expected to appear in the S7. Samsung has officially unveiled the new 20-megapixel sensor so it could appear in the handset. This is radical as it's built using a 28nm processor, rather than the current 65nm effort. That means it's 1.0 micron pixels, as opposed to current 1.2, and is smaller at 1.26. On top of that, it uses a new RGB color pattern for improved light sensitivity and power drain. The new sensor, dubbed Brittle, will also offer new phase detection autofocus for faster, more accurate placement of object even when moving at speed. The drop in pixel size has also been equated to a 1mm thinning down of the camera, meaning it may not jut out of the Galaxy S7 as it does on the S6. Samsung HD Blog.it also backed up talk about the inclusion of Brittle. Gear has taken a different approach to the duopixel idea in that it speculates that the S7 could adopt a modular camera, like Google's Project Era handset. That way you would be able to buy add-ons to make the phone more Galaxy camera-like. We're less sure on this concept though. Samsung Galaxy S7 software. We expect the Galaxy S7 to launch with Android Marshmallow, the latest version of Google's mobile OS, and supposed internal Samsung documents posted to Chinese social networking site Weibo appear to confirm that it will. However, Samsung likes to stamp its own identity on its devices, so we'd expect the S7 to come with a tweaked version of TouchWiz. The S6 was something of a triumph, in many ways taming the flaws of TouchWiz, while still maintaining its Android identity. We'd hope that the offering sticks to this ideal. Samsung Galaxy S7, other specs and features. There's no word yet on the battery, but a rumor posted to Weibo claims Samsung will add a micro SD card slot to its flagship phone. That's because the phone is rumored to have limited internal storage of 32 GB or 64 GB. Sam Mobile said Samsung will continue to release two variants of its flagship smartphone. They'll both feature UFS 2.0 storage and maybe micro SD slots. Samsung HD Blog.it also backed up these rumors, claiming the next flagships will feature a micro SD slot and possibly USB Type-C. It is not clear if this will appear on both the Galaxy S7 and Galaxy S7 Edge or just one model. Leak case maker renders from its skin suggest the larger of the two handsets will feature USB-C while the smaller could stick with micro USB.